Hey, Coach, so excited you found us on YouTube. Couple things. First of all, go subscribe. We put a new video out every day. Not everyone will be the one you want, but it will give you a notification. Hit that little bell. Second thing is go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Videos, resources, mentoring, office hours, one-on-one calls, you name it. We've got it. Let us help give you some banners and put them in your gym. Let me help you do that. Go over and check it out, teachhoops.com. Let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops,
Hello, Coach. How you doing?
episode 4.
Four.
I can't even remember episode 4 for Coach Unplugged, and we're at
I
like
would imagine. Was
1300.
that 100 years ago?
It was I think it might have been 2017, 2016.
Okay, that's been a while.
I had a lot
I
more.
remember tuning in at episode 75. I don't know
Really?
why I remember that, but yeah, 75. Yeah.
You were an initial people. That was when it was hard to do podcasts.
Yeah.
Like it took me time to like even figure out how to upload and where to host it. And now it's like it's so easy, like with Anchor and all these other places. It's like that was people weren't doing it then. And so it was really hard to kind of do it. But all right, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is how to run a youth camp. Because summer's coming up here in the States. People are thinking about camps. I've been getting all the announcements and around our, from our schools and high schools. So I thought, hey, what a great topic to talk about. If you're a coach, CYO program, LMYA or LMYC, that's local to us, YMCA, right? Whatever you're doing, right? How to run a successful camp.
I played CYO. I don't know if that's region. I don't think that's.
Yeah, no. I said LMYA. That LMYA is
that's
our
regional. CYO is everywhere.
Yeah, CYO is everywhere.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple things we need to pick. We haven't talked about this before we came on, but I think we have to talk about what kind of camps to look for.
Mm-hmm.
And then, maybe if you're going to run a youth camp too. I think there's 2 different avenues here we could talk about. I don't know which one we had decided we wanted to do.
I think we'll have time to maybe we can explore both because I think that would be helpful.
I think that would be helpful for everybody. So I think the first one, when you're talking about looking for what you want to look for, you got to look for age specific.
Yep.
So there's a lot difference between running a camp for a kindergartner or a second grader than there is for an 8th grader.
Yep.
So make sure that what kind of camps you go to are able to teach at those levels. So as a parent or, looking for a camp for your athlete, I think there's a big difference there. And area is good. High school. I always look in your area, look at, your high schools, your junior highs, or like you said, your YMCAs, I think are good places to start.
Yeah.
And then like anything, if you're looking for somebody to wash your car or paint your house, you're going to ask around probably.
Right.
To find somebody. Washing a car doesn't take too much skill, but definitely to paint your house, you definitely want somebody that's capable. So I would ask around, to be honest with you, because most of the moms and dads already kind of know what kind of
what camps are. Yeah.
What I'm saying. And then, we're gonna, the higher level ones are like PGC, and there's other ones that are higher level ones, but for the youth and the younger ones, I don't think you necessarily need that, especially early in their career.
Yeah, if you're talking like you said, K through 5, you're not going to send them to necessarily a PGC camp either. Or
any overnight camp,
right? Yeah, exactly. So
if you're both 6'11", then maybe yes, but
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, then there's different flavors of camps too. There's how serious is the camp, right? Is it more of this, like you said, it's all day camp, I'm gonna drop my kids off because it's summer and I need a break, right? Or is it really truly focused on a set of skills, right? Where it's not just babysitting, but you're gonna walk away with learning something.
Yes, and I think that's an important thing. So sometimes at that K1, 2, it's a little bit of babysitting.
That's different.
Yeah. And it's having fun, and all of them should be fun. But I think you're right about like, as they move along that progression, I think that's where, is it someone that knows how to teach? Is it, Yes, I think that's where the pivot in the asking around, I think, will help a lot.
Well, and then I would also ask how the camp is set up in general.
Right.
Meaning, is it based? I might have a third grader or fifth grader, whatever, but they might be really good, or you know what, they have a third grade level because they're just starting. So then, are they grouped by skill level? Are they grouped by age? Is everybody just thrown in together? And right, and then second question to that would be, how many coaches?
How many coaches? How many counselors?
Yeah.
They're not just going to play all the time. How much skill work is there going to be? How much
Yeah.
fun is there going to be? How much playing is there? I mean, all those things are considerations depending on your player or your athlete. I think matters. Yeah.
So definitely.
I mean, and the thing is, there's a scale there too. It's like I don't want to send my kid to a camp where they're just going to play games the whole time, or I don't want to send my kid to a camp where they're going to just do station work.
That's right.
You know, and then go eat and then do more station work and then play for 10 minutes and then send them home. So I think that outline, and it's hard to find that. It's hard to find that perfect mixture for your athlete, I think.
Well, I'm looking for one for my high school girls right now, and the quote unquote camps, 5 games guaranteed. It's like, no. I want to go to your college so they get coached by college players and college coaches.
Yeah.
To
Have
learn
you found
something
those?
that I don't teach. No. They're all 5 games, games. They're all game based. It's like, that's not what I'm looking for. So
right.
So I'm creating my own camp for my high school girls that is someone else coming in and teaching them other than hearing my voice all the time, and someone at a higher level than me.
Oh, will you hire me someday when I retire? I'll come out the same.
Why don't you come out this year? You got nothing else to do.
Yeah, I'm a little busy.
You're retired in the summer though, right?
I got it this summer. We had the COVID. Once I'm an empty nester, done. I'm already going. I already got plans to go to San Diego one summer with James. So I'll go there and then I'll go to San Diego.
Come down up, and then go down to San
Diego. Up or down. Absolutely. I'll go one way or the other.
No,
I'll
go
the other because it's warmer. It's better in San Diego weather-wise, a little bit.
And I like finding coaches that have an absolutely opposite personality than me.
Okay.
Right? Because I think it also makes your team appreciate you more too, and your style. So if they hear it, so anyway. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Boot camp. We'll call it Coach Collins Boot Camp.
Yeah, Coach Collins Boot Camp. Yeah.
Let's go on the line. That would be funny.
My nickname is Billy Buckets with my coaches, so it was going to be Billy Buckets Boot Camp.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The season's gonna seem easy, but that's a great idea, though, Coach. I love that. That's a good idea.
And yes, I'll hire you. Let's go.
Those camps are gone though.
Yeah. I mean, you could
go to those
camp, overnight camps, but those are so expensive.
They're very expensive.
$3,000 per person or something like that. It's like
crazy. And then you got to get there,
and then you got to get there. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch gears. So I think here's the next part of this discussion is if you're running a youth camp, how to organize it, right? Some of what we just talked about is a carryover, but I think if you thinking about running a camp, right? Even if it's now or during your actual basketball season, I think it's important to a well-organized camp can do so much for a young developing player. Right. If you plan on doing it year after year, you better be organized.
And you better have a lesson plan and you better be ready for it. And I'm a firm believer in having my high school athletes there because they can learn. And the best way to learn a skill is to teach it.
That's right.
I'm telling you right now, best way to learn a skill is to teach it. So I've already got a couple things I know my guys need to work on. Well, I'm going to have them work on it while they're teaching a 6th grader.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Yep.
It is brilliant. But the problem with the key to that is you got to communicate to them and understand that these little eyes are looking at you and these little eyes want to be you and these little eyes. Right. So, and it's weird how my transformation has occurred over time, in the sense that I was there at 6 a.m. and leaving at, 7 p.m. and I was running everything. And now I'm trying to, especially because I got some younger head coaches that I can kind of, it's like, hey, we're going to do this. And I can deal with mom over here and the sore knee over here and the lunch not showing up for the counselors over here. I feel sometimes more like the CFO or the CEO of the thing sometimes than I do actually getting dirty with it. But
Yeah, you've gotten dirty for a number of years, so
yeah, yeah, and I'll still jump in, and it's like,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I usually do at least one lecture a time of a skill set or something. I think it's important so they get to hear me,
Mhm.
because I think that's important. But
Yeah.
and again, I felt like I was ripping on station work before. Station work's good for camps,
Absolutely. I mean,
but
that's
you
one of the
can
things that
overdo it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and I think the station work is, again, is it, I've been to camps where it literally is station. You have 5 hoops, you got 5 different things going on. And I also been at camps where the head coach, is in the center court saying, okay, now we're all going to do layups, right? So then every hoop is doing layups. So it really depends on how you want to organize.
Well, I like breaking it up into
um,
offense and defense.
mhm.
So we break it up into we'll do 5 off, and we change the stations as the week progresses.
Mhm.
And we try to hopefully build the skill sets as it goes. So again, it's only 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
but usually I'll do defense first, and then we'll do some sort of game or fun thing in the middle, and then we'll come back and do, because it's a little bit boring for the counselors in the sense that they're doing it for 5 straight times, but for the athletes, it's not. Here's
Yeah.
5 different defensive skill sets I can work on. Here's 5 different offensive skill sets I can work on. So the variety for them keeps them moving and engaged. And it's like anything. You want them
Yeah.
moving.
So break that down a little bit more. So like one, when do your camps start during the day? Are you talking like an 8:30 to
Yeah, so
5
so
p.m.,
I'm
noon?
gonna
And then
give you this
break it down
year's.
a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like,
give you this year's, which is a little bit different because
yeah.
our high school is being renovated, so we got to go to a middle school. So we don't we're moving down. Usually I'll do layers. So usually it's 2 or 2.5 hour windows. So like this morning I'll do like 9. I'll do like 9 to 11. I'll do 5th through or 6th through 8th,
Okay.
and I'll do it for 2 hours, and then maybe 1 to 2 o'clock or 1:30, I'll do 7th through 9th kind of thing,
Mm,
roughly. It changes a little bit because again, I'm having to pivot. But
yeah.
in that 2 hours, there'll be it's kind of like a game. There's an intro, it's pregame, and
Yeah.
then the first half, and then halftime, and then the second half, and then closure afterwards. So I kind of run it that way where we'll come in, we'll learn a skill. We tend to do some full court stuff to get them moving. So I'll talk, we'll do some full court stuff, then we'll do our station work, and then we'll usually do a couple contests for Gatorades or some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back and talk again, then we'll do some more station work. And then, like I said, offense tends to be the second set of station work, and then we'll come in and we'll play some games at that point. And usually with the younger guys, it's 2-on-2, 3-on-3.
Yeah.
And then eventually, by the time we're in 7th or 8th grade, then I'll throw by the end of the week, I'm throwing my counselors playing them because I think that's fun. And we'll do different games. And again, the games progress. It's like, games for the little guys might be dribble tag or things like that. And
Yeah.
then, but it's like, you would think, a Laffy Taffy, that you would think you'd giving them $100 bill,
Oh yeah.
how hard they'll
Oh my
play for a
goodness.
Laffy Taffy.
That's right.
It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, first of all, it's bad for your teeth, but like, or a little Gatorade. You'd think you were giving them world championship trophy kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
How do you do yours? How do you do yours?
Yeah, a little bit more. We do have the kind of offensive defensive split. And I think this year what I'm going to do are stations though. So, hoop 1 is maybe we're working on, pivots. Hoop 2 is we're working on shots or maybe free throws, right? Hoop
Okay.
3 is something else, right? So, and then rotating those, everybody just kind of goes around the gym. the groups are already going to be, or the kids are going to be broken up into groups by skill level, and
Right.
we'll do maybe a game or two. If I don't know the kids, right, it's a fresh group of kids coming in. If I don't know them, we'll do something to say, right, to kind of suss them out, and they'll be in this group, and then even during like, oh my gosh, this person is really good, let's move them to the more advanced
Yeah,
group.
you can
People around.
subtly do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
subtle shift is what I refer to it as.
That's right. Yeah.
You come here with me, you got to go over here.
Yeah.
Like either a good thing or a bad thing sometimes. Yeah.
But then we go into the, we'll do all of these skills, and then do games,
Okay.
and contests and things like that. So contests, shooting contests, that's that type of thing, for the Gatorades or whatever. And then at the end of the camp, we're doing some sort of game. If it's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, whatever it is.
Yeah,
So
I love playing 2-on-2 and 3-on-3. If you got enough baskets, that's where we're just hurting so bad because we're moving out. We're not going to have our field house, so we're going to a middle school. So I'm not going to have the baskets to do all that.
And the size, probably the space.
Yeah,
so, yeah. But I think the most important thing, though, in that is keep it moving. If you're going to run a camp, you got to keep the kids moving, right? Short, whatever skill you're teaching, probably under 10 minutes and move on to the next. Right?
Yeah, my stations are 5 to 7 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. The younger, the shorter.
Yeah.
like I can have 7th or 8th graders. They can be in a station, especially if it's a good station, 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If needs be. But though the youngsters, it's like 5 minutes can feel like 6 hours sometimes. I'm telling you.
Well, even if for example, like especially for the younger kids, there's just something about that transition from basket 1 to basket 2, even if you're working on the same thing, slightly different, right?
Right.
Just keeping them moving, going from group, new coach in front of them, right? And then just get into the drill.
And they connect. It's not like, it's like anything. They connect with some of the players better than other the players. It's just the way it is. And that's the key too. If you're running a youth camp, that you want to think about that, your players, so that you should know those counselors. Like A will work really well with B, but A will not work well with C.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, and
what nothing done at that station. Yes.
Well, the question then too is, if we have the advantage because we run high school teams, and then we can run our camp and bring the high school players. But if you're not a head coach at a high school, I would suggest reach out to the high school coach.
Yes.
And say, hey, I'm running this youth camp. 1, do you want to get involved? 2, hey, can you share it with your players? I'd love to bring some of them in.
And most high school coaches would love to come to talk to your teams. Would love to talk to your camp. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Tell me when. I'll be there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what else? I was going to ask you, do you have a session of any character development stuff where you're literally just talking about teamwork, what it's to be on a team, anything like leadership stuff?
Like closing or opening statements.
Yeah.
So when they're sitting on the floor and they're all looking up at me, they're the opening one, and tends to be more the closing one because the parents are watching and they tend to be a little bit more focused.
Because you just ran all the energy, right? You got all that energy.
And they're like, okay, let's talk. What's our, and sometimes I'll pick a word like energy. Today's word is energy. Did you bring energy to camp today? Did you or teammate? How many high fives did you give today? Blah, 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 those kind of things. So I'll depending on what my pre-camp speech is, then my post-camp speech will follow up on it.
That's a good idea, though. Could you imagine your pregame? I just thought of this too. That hey, today the word is teammate.
Yes,
and
touch. Sometimes it's touch, but
touch. That's what. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like how many today we're looking for high fives. Right. We want to see you guys, and one of your teammates does something well, I want to see a high five.
Right. I'll go touch. I'll go touch. Today is touch, and the little ones will giggle. I go, no hugging. Yeah, I'm not talking about hugging, no hugging. And they'll all laugh and giggle and think it's funny. And I go, you can hug if you want, but high fives. How many high fives? Or affirmations or things. I mean,
sometimes.
Yeah, hustles. And I'll say hustles. Yeah. I was watching today,
Yeah.
John, I saw John. Hey, come up here. You get a Laffy Taffy or a piece of gum. I saw you dive on the floor 3 times. Great hustle.
It's a great
So
idea too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
those little like I don't know if they're teasers, but if you do those early in camp, they will run because they don't know I'm watching. Like,
Right.
what am I watching for? And then I'll just end up picking a different kid. You know, hey, I saw you checking on that one kid that twisted his ankle. Nice job. Come on up here. And then I'll give him, you know, Gatorade or something. It's like I really appreciate you doing that. So I'm kind of, you know, showing them what I want, basically. You know, what is it to be a leader? What is it to be, you know?
Yeah. I'm just taking notes on that too, because that is what is it? What is it to be
giving people notes? What are you doing?
I like that though. I like I like the concept of you know, picking something maybe just random or related to the topic for the day. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Someone, you know, held the door open for somebody. Hey, you know what? I noticed that, right? Just to let them know that, hey, coach is always looking. He's picking up on things, and hey, I want to give you, like you said, a little.
And I'll do that with my counselors too. It's like, hey, come on in here, and I'll throw a T-shirt at them or something. I'll say, hey, nice job. I saw you today, and you were really helping Sam over there with that. I really appreciate it.
I like that. Yeah, affirmation is, you know, that keeps them excited. The big smile on their face. It's a great idea.
Oh yeah, they're very excited about it and stuff.
So the other, did we talk about, so we talked about keeping kids, everybody's involved, right? Too. I don't know if we specifically said that.
I don't know if we specifically talked about that, but that's right. I mean, active hands are good hands. Like active bodies are good bodies, especially.
You don't want people just standing around watching, right? Everybody's got to be.
Because what's going to happen if they're standing around, they're going to start pulling their jerseys, or they're going to start poking them in the back, or they're going to that's why I like small groups. For that station, I don't like more than 5 or 6 people in a station, if possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's again why I like my field house, because I could have more groups, smaller class size. It's been proven is better. So
if you're talking a 6 hoop gym, is that that's what you have, right?
Well, if I'm in a regular gym,
if in your regular gym, how many kids are you talking about?
And I don't like taking more than 35, 36 kids.
That's what we
and I'm gonna have to shut my camp off in the next couple of weeks because I'm in a smaller gym. I'm just gonna have to say no. Sorry. And you know, I've sent them enough emails saying you better get it in soon. Send. I just don't want 70 kids and 6 baskets. That's not going to be good for anybody. So
and then so you run it how many days? 3 days, 4 days?
No, I run it 4 days, Monday to Thursday, because I have found that Fridays are tough in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kids leave early, you know, they're going water skiing or whatever. It's like, whatever, good. So and it's better to have that energy for 4 days and to try to stretch it out to the 5th day. Just doesn't work.
For everybody, coaches, counselors.
We're all tired by then. All right, coach, what are we talking about next week?
We are going to be talking about skills. What 3rd through 5th grade skills you should be coaching and should be emphasizing at those grade levels. Sound good?
Yeah, that should be like on a 3x5 card. But yes, I agree.
Yes, 3x5 card. Our ABCs too.
Our ABCs. Ooh, you got me thinking about the ABCs. We're
Start writing them down. Writing them down.
I know. All right. Till next week.
Hey, coach. So glad you enjoyed the video. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better, and subscribe and like. Have a great day.